What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jack, and today I was taking my weekly shower. As it happens, we're close to the holidays. I was in the holiday spirit. I was singing in the shower. And that's when I noticed, that's when my mind took a deep, dark turn. And I realized something very important. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is not a wholesome Christmas story. It's a story about greed, violence, and corruption. Sit back, turn off the lights, and enjoy as we dive deep into the dark history of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It all started in the late 1930s, in a small village in the North Pole, where Blitzen and Misty were expecting their first kid, Rudolph. They were expecting a reindeer just like any other reindeer in town. However, Rudolph was born different. Where other reindeer are cute with big eyes and little black noses, Rudolph was born with a deformity, an imperfection. He had a red nose. Not only was it red, but it shined. Some even might say it glowed. This was enough for Blitzen and Misty to neglect his only son. Rudolph was born neglected. His parents forced him to hide the only trait that makes him different among the reindeer community. He was treated like an abomination. Eventually, Rudolph couldn't hide it anymore, and his peers find out quickly that his nose is in fact red. He gets mocked and laughed by everyone, including his parents. This is already insane behavior from the reindeer community. However, this was normalized back then, back in the 30s. People would just mock you for being different. Rudolph then grew into a dark childhood. He was constantly bullied, mocked, deceived. No one liked him, no one loved him, not even his own parents. But this didn't stop Rudolph. Rudolph chased his dreams, and he always dreamed about being on Santa's sleigh. Despite the constant bullying, harassment, and violence against his name, Rudolph fought through, and eventually, he scored enough points to make it into an official Santa's reindeer. However, his peers were mean to him. They would not stop calling him names, and they would not let Rudolph play any reindeer games with them, not even Monopoly. Now, there's a big misconception in this story. Everybody thinks of Santa, the white fat guy, as a hero. However, this could not be farther away from the truth. Actually, St. Nicholas is nothing but a gigantic corporation, an image, a publicity stunt to make him money. So what does Nicholas do? He sees the world as a corporation. He thinks that he can sell and make profit out of Rudolph's images. As soon as Santa realizes the amount of money he can make by selling Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer products, his light bulb switches. Something changes that day, and Santa decides to promote Rudolph to be head of his sleigh. He lies to the world. He tells us he did this because he claims that Rudolph's shine can help him look through the path in the cold winter nights. However, this could not be farther from the truth. Imagine pointing a flashlight, a 1930s flashlight, through a cloud. Would that help in any way? No, it's too dark. Also, Rudolph's nose is just shiny. It's not a light beam. It barely even glows. Some might say it glows. So we clearly know this is a lie. Greedy old capitalist Saint Nick used Rudolph's image to get rich out of it, to capitalize on Christmas spirit and Christmas joy. So he tells this story about how Rudolph was actually born to be the leader of the pack. But no, he's just being used. And he doesn't even get 1 cent out of this. Everything goes back to Saint Nick. So yeah, Rudolph gets promoted. As soon as Santa can capitalize from his image, Rudolph doesn't change. Only Santa's perception of Rudolph did. Imagine Santa as a brand manager, and him discovering that Rudolph's glow is profitable. That's when everything changed. Santa has succumbed to influencer culture. Let's analyze Rudolph's verse. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so red, why don't you pull on the sleigh tonight?" Then, all the reindeer loved him. They all shouted out in glee, "Yippee!" Excuse me. This has to be the biggest switch up in the history of the universe. The reindeer switch sides instantly, as soon as Rudolph gets a little bit of clout from Santa, the big boss. Everyone wants to be friends with Rudolph. Everybody loves him. Well, guess what? All of these fucking little reindeer are fake sluts. Cause the moment Rudolph gets some motion, the moment he blows up worldwide, everybody wants to be Rudolph. Everybody wants to be their friend. Isn't this insane? Rudolph literally was bullied, not only by his peers, but by his parents. He was constantly told to hide his differences from everyone. But the moment he becomes someone, the moment he gets a name, everybody wants to be Rudolph. Maybe this is when Rudolph teaches us something. People in this world are fake. Just like Rudolph's peers, people will only accept your differences when they are profitable, when they can make money out of it, when it brings them clout. This is how it works just in the workplace, at school. This is also what happens to content creators. The moment you get a little bit of clout from some authority and you become it, everybody wants to be your friend. My message to Rudolph: cut them off. You know what? Cut Santa off too. Make your own sleigh, bro. Make your own company. And also, Santa owns your royalties, bro. That's how copyright works. Also, why did Santa even need a flashlight on his sleigh? That doesn't make any sense. Rudolph officially gets promoted on 1949. You know how many planes were flying around the world in 1949? Barely any. Just a few from the war. That's it. There was barely any commercial planes, if any at all. So why would you need him? Bro, it's not like he's gonna crash or anything. Biggest lie told to humanity. Santa doesn't need Rudolph. At least not for the reasons we think. He only needs him for his capitalistic gain. Santa is a greedy fat fuck. Subscribe before Santa finds this video. And remember, they didn't love Rudolph. They loved the benefits. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Cut off your fake friends, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next video. Peace. Oh, and let me know if you want me to investigate any more childhood stories. I got you.